Today, I coached a subscriber of this channel. He asked a simple question. How can I improve my game sense, get a better routine, and how can I be more aware? Today, I answered that. I helped him out, and you guys are about to see exactly how I did that. So let's get straight into it. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
What's good?
What's up?
Yeah, let me see. So you wrote in the thing, improving your IQ/game sense, how to improve mouse control, figuring out a good routine, and then how to help you or helping you with awareness/fighting or awareness in fighting. Is that correct, or is there something else you want to focus on?
Yeah, no, that's like it.
I bet. So we'll start with the first one. So improving IQ and game sense, right? How do you improve IQ and game sense? It's going to be watching your games back is like the most simple way I can explain it, right? If you're able to watch your games back, and even on a micro level of you're playing creative and you're doing 10 1v1s and you're recording your perspective and you're watching those back, like that's like a deeper, I suppose, a micro level versus just, going in the replays and watching your own replays, or going in the replays and watching someone else play. That's IQ game sense. That's how you're going to be able to get a different perspective, different angle, because a lot of things happen super fast, right? So if you're especially if you're in a creative 1v1, you're doing 10 rounds in maybe like a couple minutes, right? So, and then in game situation, right? A mistake, a bad rotate, a bad play, bad execution, all happens very fast, and then you get punished fast. So you got to be able to get a different perspective or different angle, and that's all going to be replays and your recordings. And I would always recommend doing that. You have replays on, right?
Bro, I don't.
Okay,
I do not.
Definitely turn those
I have
on.
them off because of I heard they decrease delay. Is that true?
No. I would say if you have like a literal potato PC, then maybe it would decrease delay or increase like lag. But like if you're really thinking about replays as a file itself, because it's when you have them on, it's saving a file on your computer. So that's like the thought process behind these, like people telling you that it's going to be extremely like bad for you to have it on. But for example, like I'm looking at my replay folder right now. I did a full game is 20,000 kilobytes. Unless I'm reading that wrong.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which is nothing, right? So like,
yeah,
the whole folder is nothing. So yeah, it's not going to be that much. And again, you can always clear it out if you feel like you have to, but it's really not much. Like the files upload instantly to Discord. I can drag a replay in this chat and it'll be within a millisecond, right? Uploaded right away. So it's super small. And yeah, replays you should always have on.
Definitely.
Regardless though, if you are playing a tournament, I don't know if you play cash cups in those, but if you are playing tournaments or you want to watch someone else play a tournament, you don't necessarily need replays for that, because you can go into Fortnite Tracker, and I'll show you here, just in case you haven't seen. If you go into Fortnite Tracker, right? I mean, this is going to be kind of funky because we'll just go to a last season thing. So solos, whatever you want to watch this guy and his game 1 win. You just go to your tracker. It could be also on your profile. Imagine your Crank FN1. If you go to his name here, you'll pull up your profile just like how this probably looks for you. Go to your event, whatever you want to watch. We'll do that one again and click on it. It'll take us to it. You can just double check that that's the one. Double check here, and then find the game, right? So you'll remember 10 kill first. Okay, click on this yellow square, and that's it. You go here to the top of your thing. It'll be this little code, the sessions. It used to be like a copy paste on the right, but it'll just be this.
I didn't know that.
Double click it, copy it, and then go into in-game, go to replays. When you're in the replays, view streaming replay bottom right. Boom, paste it, accept it. If I accept it, it's bugged because it's from last chapter, but that's it. So you can go in, and that's as long as it shows on Fortnite Tracker, you're able to do that. So this guy, for example, got like, I don't even know what's his worst placement. Let's just say 9,000, like in this, right? And we can go to this, click on it, find him just on the bubble. It's top 10,000. I believe it could be different for different modes, but I believe it's top 10,000. Maybe for duos it's like top 5,000. I'm not sure, but for solos, right? Yeah. Top 10,000. So even here, this game, he played one game. We can go into it, find the player that even won the game, go through the entire replay. All we have to do is just click that again, copy it, go in here, boom, paste it in, and then you're back in. And that right there is like the master replay file. So this, if you have access to this code, whether it's shared from, I give you codes, or, you do this yourself and dig through yourself or other pros, it's a master replay. So you're able to go in and see everybody. You're able to see everything.
So is that how
you.
Sorry for interrupting. Is that how like Aussie Antics and them do that?
Yeah.
Like watching live tournaments, just that?
Yep. Yep, it'll be through that exactly. So they'll go through, literally do the same thing. You can do it in a live tournament, but it's not going to be like 1-to-1 live. It'll be, I think it's like a 10 to 12 minute delay. So that's why Aussie's always like 10 to 12 minutes behind.
Okay.
But yeah, that'll give you access to that. And then, as you can see, this is just a random game from today, but this is like the regular replays. So this is not the code. This is what it looks like. So you have like that circle, so you can only see within the circle. And then even if you go outside the circle, because you can fly anywhere. If you go outside the circle, then things might not load in. Like chests might not load in, or you might not be able to exactly check everything if it's outside of that circle. But in that master replay file, yeah, you can do everything. You can switch perspective, see the mat count, the whole 9 yards. The next thing to know about just skipping through replays, and especially because you can do creative replays as well. So you can watch it from that angle, or you can just record. You can do both. I always do both. I'll always record my perspective and I'll do replays because, again, replays give you a hindsight, right? Like you're looking through and you can see there's a guy that's crouched right here, So I'll be like, oh, man, you can always think of 100 different scenarios of what you could have done in game. But when you actually record your perspective, you're seeing where you're looking, you're seeing your angles, how fast you're moving your mouse to, maybe you had a chance when you're running down here to look left and see him. Maybe you did see him and you just weren't aware enough. And it's like things like that. You need both, right? So if you can record, it's great. If not, you can dig through your replays. And in the replays, it's important to know your keyboard mouse or your controller.
I'm keyboard and mouse.
Okay. It's important to know how to actually use replays because that's the biggest part that I always see, especially when helping people study and how to get better game sense and how to be smarter and study the game, is they don't know how to use replays. The replays look like, I don't even, it looks like this. They're like super zoomed in and they're moving fast and they're like, it just looks clunky and it feels clunky and it doesn't feel, it's not motivating when you don't know how to use it. Like you're not going to want to do something you don't know how to do.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I agree. Replays is simple. The easy things you need to know is scroll wheel is like FOV or focal length, right? So if you want to zoom in where you're standing, I'm not even moving. I'm just zooming in, zooming out. So what I'll always do is I'll just go to my thing and I'll always just scroll out. Just give myself as much FOV as I can so I can, have a wide shot. And then that is important to know. And the next thing is your number bind. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is your number binds that will switch your perspective. So if I do 1, that's third person. 2 is drone follow. 3 is drone attach. 4 is drone free. And 5 is gameplay. So the ones you're going to want to do the most is 4 and 5. Drone free is fly around. Drone, 5 is gameplay. So 4, 5.
Okay.
And then through this, another thing that's handy to know is like, let's say I'm over here and I'm getting stuck, or like I'm like clicking, trying to move my camera around because it's right click to move your camera. That's pretty obvious. But let's say I click on a name and accidentally pop onto it and it's a mess. What you can do is, again, if you snap onto a player in accident, let's say I accidentally clicked on myself and I didn't want to do this, just click 4. It's going to teleport you back to where you were. What you can do here is you're seeing here, like it's switching me sides. Like for some reason, I don't know why it does this. I'm sure it's intentional, but all you have to do to snap out back onto the character is R. R will take you right back to the character. So you see how I was over there, pressed R, snap back. So if you're like, oh man, I clicked on the wrong name, I would do 4, press R if I wanted to go back, and then fly from there. Okay. Sometimes it'll like in a custom replay, like the actual ID, like it might like snap you over here, and then it's just gonna be annoying to have to get up and fly back, and so just press R. And then the last thing would be the plus and minus. That's like camera speed. So just being able to control your speed, plus and minus is pretty simple. Just keeping it on like 2 speed, and then obviously choosing your gameplay speed. That's pretty much it. There's a couple of replay settings which you can dig through, and I would definitely encourage you to look through these. Nothing that you have to really change other than like maybe having nameplates on, but that's it. I guess the only other one, just so you know, is arrow distance and off distance, I believe is the one. So if we go like away from me, right, you'll see how my name kind of fades away, and then eventually it'll become nothing. If we go to the setting here and we increase the distance here, right, you see how the name comes up. So I like that at not like a super far, because I don't want to be watching my game and see everybody. I want to just see myself and the kind of the radius that I could actually see in game. Like I don't need to see from this angle there's a guy on the hill. If I want to do that, I can turn that, and that's easy.
That makes sense.
So that's it. That's replays. That's how you use it. And that's like right there, just having that as a tool is you're able to fly around, study this exact game, see how I could have watched the fight, or how I could have killed this guy better, slow it down, speed it up, come here, pause it, right? Pause space, drone free 4, fly around, slow my speed down, change my angle, right? Watch it, slow it down again, watch it, pause it, 5 to go back to my perspective. Yeah, boom. Like it's just all easy to control. Once you get the hang of it, it's there. And then the last thing if you're trying to be aesthetic or you want to move things around, or just H. H will change your HUD. So like Aussie does H. That's why his will look like this.
Okay.
So that's improving your game sense and your IQ. And yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Got you. Next thing was how to improve mouse control. So mouse control is all about one experience, right? Like if you're to give your mouse to somebody who's never played keyboard mouse, there's a difference there between you. There's a difference between me and that guy, and like there's just right. You have to have experience.
Yeah,
but you can build up and level experience extremely fast. Like it doesn't have to be by just playtime. You don't have to just have 5 trillion hours using a mouse and you'll have mouse control. It might also just not. Some people pick up things quick, and that's maybe the method for some. But the real way of going about it is actually training it, and you do that through aim training. All right, so mouse control is all just having a good grip on the mouse, understanding how to properly, being connected to the mouse. If you look left, you look right, like how everything works, right? So if you're constantly changing your mouse, if you're constantly switching things out, even your skates on your mouse, if you're switching those out a lot, like it's thinking about it as like it's changing your hand environment, like it's changing the shape, it's changing the weight, it's changing the speed that you move, your mouse pad if you change that a ton, like so that's all gonna adjust your mouse control for good or bad. And it's good to play around and see what you get comfortable with, but once you find something, I always recommend just to stick on what works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have something to say.
Yep.
So basically, I kind of just have been doing that, but I want to know if this is good or bad. I've been kind of doing a Zexro method, bro. Like where I've been Kovaxing, like the past week, I've been Kovaxing like 5 to 6 hours a day.
Okay.
So I was wondering if like I should balance that out with more playing time, because like right now I can play a shit ton of Fortnite, but I just like don't have a good routine, I guess.
Got you. Yeah. So I'll speak on aim training just from my advice from my previous coaches and just my journey and all that. Number one, I think aim training, overdoing it is not necessarily a good thing. Like I think that a lot of the top aimers, and like I know you said the Zextra method, which is funny, but like a lot of really talented aimers will tell you like there's no point in really going past like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Like you just lose focus, and you also just can't, like your muscle can't train that much. It's like going to the gym. Like would you go to the gym for 5 hours? Like that's like you could do it. You could do it. Like 100%. It's humanly possible to lift weights for 5 hours.
I try to take breaks though and like stretch my arms. So like 5-minute breaks, stretch my arms, go back to it. So I would like
still look
more
at it
locked in, I guess.
Yeah,
I completely understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, look at it like the gym. Like I could take a break for 5 minutes to stretch, or even 30 minutes to stretch, but I'm still gonna it's just fatigue. It's like slowly, and you're just not your full self at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I would recommend cutting it to an hour and a half or an hour. And as for routines, I can give you some of the routines that I do. But yeah, mouse control and Kovacs is just going to be that is going to be mouse control. Practicing maps that aren't flick focused maps, like constantly doing flick only maps, is going to kind of limit your mouse control growth, if that makes sense. Like if you're only practicing flick shots, you're only going to go for flick shots, and then your mouse control.
I like to do a variety for sure.
Yeah, so that's perfect. As long as you're playing somewhat of tracking scenarios, like the biggest thing with Kovacs is like, unless you're an absolute like doorknob, like you're gonna play scenarios that are gonna be challenging. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's impossible. It's almost it's very
100%.
doorknobby to like sit there and play an easy scenario and think you're getting better. Like you have to challenge yourself, and you also shouldn't play scenarios that are just unrealistic. Like if you're aiming at like a little tiny ball 5,000 yards away and it's the smallest movements, like that's clearly not Fortnite. Like maybe that's a different game, or maybe that's just for fun for somebody else to do. But yeah, try to be, apply it to the game, apply it to what you see. And that's really it. Again, at the end of the day, it's training. So if you are playing that little one where you're tracking the smallest ball, like, okay, it may not be useful 99% of the time in Fortnite, but there's maybe a 1% chance that you might want to have that quick micro adjustment movement, or you might want to, practice that tracking to hit a special shot. And it's going to help you in some way. It's like if you're shooting a basketball, it's like as long as you're shooting the basketball, you're getting better at it in some way. Like you're just getting more playtime with it. So that's mouse control. And then in general, like, in-game mouse control, and I'm assuming you are also maybe meaning like crosshair placement. Those kind of go hand in hand, and it's just being conscious of it, right? Like crosshair placement is all about understanding how you're moving, and being conscious of what you're doing. Let me load into a map here. I'll also say, like you mentioned, you were playing 5 hours of aiming and then whatever else. Um, I'll say this: pros come up all the time, and they all most of the come up pros have a special trait about them. There's really a rare scenario where you see somebody who came out of the complete like random blue, and they're just super balanced. Like they're just decently smart, decent aim, decent mechanics. Like they all almost always will have something like a special trait about them. And I feel like I use these these two players a lot because I've seen them. I've been around for so long that I've seen them literally come from absolutely nothing, right, to where they are now. So we got Peterbot and Threats. Threats is clearly a super talented aimer. He's probably got one of the best aim, in the game. He's extremely talented, and he came up doing Kovacs. He probably played 2 hours a day or maybe more.
Yeah,
and just grinded
I see
it
him
a
on
ton.
the leaderboards.
Yeah, so he went crazy, right? Like that was his way to the top, and it worked, right? And same with Peterbot. Peterbot didn't Kovacs. I don't think I've ever seen him Kovacs, or maybe he has a little bit, but he came up with mechanics, right? So he got really popular and well known and became a top player with mechanics. And then, as we can see just by Threats and Peterbot as the example, is they've obviously both put in time into mechanics, and the other ones put time into aiming. They've became more well rounded, but at a baseline, when Threats became like more known, when I saw him come up in the scene, he was still known as this guy with crazy aim, but he had mechanics. Like you didn't say, oh, he has such good aim, but the worst mechanics. And the reason why that is because if you're training your aim, you're training your mechanics, just kind of not at a fast rate, if that makes sense. So because
100%.
If you're thinking about it, right, you're constantly tracking something at Kovacs. You're playing 15 hours a day. Like your crosshair placement in game, your mouse control, your smoothness, all that will transfer into your edits, into your piece control, into the way you hold your mouse, into being more in tune with your mouse. And same thing with mechanics training. If you're only playing box fight, zone wars, and mechanics training maps, and you don't aim train a single time, well, you're still doing a little bit of aiming, right? It's still giving you that little percentage increase. And so that's the way I look at it. I treat that the same with my own self. Like if I play a ton of Kovacs, I honestly, what I do is I do whatever I'm passionate about, because that's really what's going to drive you to want to do it for fun. So if I'm having a lot of fun
100%.
writing in-game scenarios, in-game aim training, and I don't necessarily do like shotgun aiming.
Would you recommend that, by the way?
I'm talking about necessarily. Sorry, my bad. I'm talking about like surge aiming. Like that's if I'm feeling like I want to practice my surge aim in game. Okay. That's what I'll do. So I'll hop on that and I'll just grind that. If I'm having a good time, I'm not going to break the focus. If I'm doing it for a week or two, that's great. And the next 3 weeks, I might really like to do Kovacs, or I might want to do mechanics training, or I might want to do edit courses, like whatever I'm focused on. Again, me doing a week of edit courses still helps me in my aim. It's still giving me better crosshair placement. It's still giving me like a more lined up shots, giving me more control through my builds, which is going to in turn allow me to, edit course somebody and hit, have the shot lined up. And it's just going to make it easier for me. It's just allowing me to capitalize on my already well-trained aim. Right, so I always do what I'm passionate about. That's the best way, in my opinion, to grind. It's instead of just forcing yourself to play a set routine of like 5 hours aiming, 3 hours building, 2 hours editing.
I'm low-key pretty passionate about it, bro, because I see like the most improvement in myself whenever I practice that. Because I feel like, I don't know why. I feel like right now, like that's kind of my big issue. It's just keeping good mouse control. Because I feel like my mechanics are like a little above average, but it's just like my aim and stuff isn't consistent.
Yeah, I mean, with everything that you're playing, whether it's editing, building, piecing, aiming, like you're gonna see, if you're doing it enough, you're gonna see the improvement, and it's gonna keep you going. So like, I mean, like you said, aiming. If you're aim training a lot and you're seeing improvements, because you're aim training, you're actually doing it, so you're gonna see improvement, and it's gonna push you further, and you're gonna actually enjoy doing it. So yeah, with that,
it's really motivating.
Whatever you have the most passion doing at that time, do it, and don't feel like you have to stay under a set routine to be like, every day of the month I'm doing aim training. Like, okay, I might just do it for a week, that's good enough, and I might do mechanics for a week, and eventually you're just gonna continue to build that catalog up.
Okay.
Yeah, and then of course you still want to have a decent routine. I know you talked about finding out a good routine, but it is important to have a decent routine. I think the most important thing in leveling up to become a top player fast is your like life balance routine. I've worked with Always Poppy, who's a like top tier pro mental coach, and I worked with him for about 8 months a couple years ago, or not a couple years ago, but 2 years ago, and it was phenomenal. And he taught me a ton about work-life balance and just like being able to find like consistency, because the last thing you want to do is every day you wake up, one day you're tired, one day you're feeling good, the next day you're feeling, and the next day you're feeling really, really good, and it's just back and forth. Right? You want to have that consistency. I don't know if you experienced that.
That's exactly how I am right now, actually.
Yeah. So you want to find that consistency, and the best things I took from those 8 months was sleep schedule, and then I feel like this is obviously probably just
my sleep schedule's
default.
Can't lie.
Things to understand. Like you would imagine a sleep schedule would help, but yeah, it does help. It changes a lot. So sleep schedule will help, and then consistent caffeine cutoff time for me. I found that works for me. I have an alarm that's been set on my phone for the last 2 years, and everyone in my family knows it. Like they call me out for it every single time. It's at 5 p.m. This is my preference. You can set it later or earlier, but at 5 p.m. I could drink a full on 500 milligram caffeine can at 4:55. As soon as 5 p.m. cuts, I'm throwing it away. Like there's no more caffeine.
I definitely need that. Yeah.
No more soda. Like it's just water, and like anything that's just no caffeine. I can have soda still, I guess, the no caffeine versions, but yeah, it's not like even the smallest amount. Like just no caffeine, because that regulates my sleep cycle. It gets me going for my routine, and I'm able to wake up feeling rested every single day. So that, and then again, the next thing would be on that is just your actual consistent sleep and wake up time, right? If you're going to bed at 9 p.m., waking up at 9 a.m., that's pretty crazy, but like that's the same thing. Just being able to sleep and wake up at the same time every day is important to regulating your body's your body's like sleep routine. So
yeah, no, that's right, definitely important.
Is going to help you feel more full every day, and like you're going to feel kind of at a base level every day. You're starting at the same point rather than starting at 5% and having to work up each time. Because trust me, I felt that a ton when I started pro gaming when I was right out of high school, and I feel like every high school student would like the fact that you could sleep until like 3-4 p.m. was sick. Like I was so happy about that. Like I could go to bed, wake up whenever I wanted. I don't know how I did it, but now I'm like super alarm. I wake up every day, same time, sleep every day, same time. I try to be super strict with it, and it's been really good for everything, gaming and my life and everything. So
definitely, no, I completely agree with that. I think applying that to my life would definitely improve it, because my sleep schedule is just fucked up.
Yeah, and
like,
for me,
super inconsistent.
It was the caffeine intake for me, and it wasn't like I was drinking 15 monsters a day, but like just a little, like just not being conscious that I was drinking one at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. or
100%,
or 3 sodas, which is still like over 100 milligrams of caffeine depending on what you're drinking. I think that's right.
Yeah, I sip on Coke throughout the day.
Yeah.
Well, not normally at night. I definitely don't like to sip on it at night. Kind of disciplined about that, but at 8 p.m. and stuff, definitely still.
Yeah.
So
it all just
would be good.
Help you be more consistent. So for that's just a general like life routine to be able to be more full each day and be at your peak faster, because there is a warm-up routine every day. You're not going to be at, like when you get off at night, like that is your peak warm-up. You're feeling great. And you can't, I have not found a way. Maybe there's a way, but I can't get myself like that night at 10 p.m. getting me to be like that right when I wake up at 9 a.m. Like I can't. Maybe some coffee in the morning, and that will maybe get me there quicker. Just my reaction time with caffeine just wakes me up more. It's impossible. It's just, I don't think it's a thing. So you're going to have to warm up every day. That's just how it is. And that's, I would imagine that's completely normal to every other sport in the world. Just warming up and getting back into that. Yeah, and then your in-game routine is going to be, again, kind of based off of what you're more passionate about. And I feel like if you don't have an understanding of what to play in-game, I can show you. But if you do,
I don't think I do.
Okay.
Like I feel like ranked has come to a point where obviously like the players, like you can run into like good players and stuff, but most of the time is just not good players and like people playing for fun and stuff. It's really not competitive, you know? I don't really think I have any competitive like game modes to play, or really any like friend groups or anything that are like super good or better than me to challenge me.
Yep, gotcha. I like that you said that, because challenging yourself is the route to success. I guess that is the best way, the fastest way to improve, probably the only way to improve. Like if you're fighting the worst player possible, it's really going to be a slow climb for you. So With that being said, there's a couple things, just a couple creative maps you can play by yourself. I'll just quickly point them out. You probably have seen them, maybe you've played them a couple times. If you need me to go deep into them, I can. Let me just find them because this is always so confusing. Okay, so Raider 464. This guy is an absolute guru.
Yeah.
This guy has brought up so many
that
pros.
map hundreds of
If
times.
this guy never made these maps, I don't know where mechanics would be. Like it wouldn't be as big as it is now. I don't think it would be. We'd probably be a year behind, like from what we could be right now. So absolutely insane. These maps are crazy.
That is actually pretty insane.
But the thing to know, and it's just like Kovacs, is just be conscious of what you're doing and understand that some of these things on these maps, and it's kind of sad that it's not sad because I'm thankful for the resource, but at the same time, like, and I can't blame him. He's trying to put out as much as he can, as best as he can. So he's definitely critiquing himself and making sure it's good. But there are
it's
things
like
on this
not
map,
as good as it should be.
no, I'm saying there are things on this map that aren't that good to play. Like, for example, if you're looking at this picture right here, this map, this is the map. The edit training is not necessarily that good to play. Like, you don't have to play that. I would recommend not playing that. Like, so for example, like just like Kovacs, you could play an easy scenario on Kovacs, but you're going to be wasting your time. So just be conscious. Like, is this something that really is good for me? No. Right? Like, I mean, we can see kind of on the left side here, click timing, AR tags, static 180. Like, okay, static 180 in Kovacs or static 180 in a Fortnite map that someone created, with the mechanics that Fortnite gave you. Like, clearly it's not as good. So simply put, the best way to play these maps is to take advantage of all the different tunnels, right? So we can see tunnels classic, tunnels target, and then we have even the tunnels that are in the peak and piece control.
I like that peak training. That one's good. The hard mode.
The best way to play this is to look at these as all the same. So don't even read classic, don't even read targets. It doesn't mean anything. Like, yes, you're going to have a target to shoot. You don't even have to shoot the target to pass the map. Look at it as 16 different possible scenarios just right here. And then you have the middle one that has, I don't even know, 4 or 5 different like possible scenarios, 16 different scenarios. So if we're looking at it like this, the one might be, you build up, build down. So you go up, up, down, 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 and that's it. And then the 2 might be up, up, down, and 3 might be side, up, down, right? So you're seeing how all these are different. All these, there's 16 different tunnels, which means you're getting 16 different build combinations, 16 different crosshair placements, right? 16 different edit angles. You're getting all that together is in this one map, which is huge, right? Like this is an hour or 2 hours worth of straight practice that you can really bang out each day and feel refreshed and new each time, because it's 16 different opportunities. And then going into this V4 map, going into his V3 map, which is like where a lot of people got their start. This is like the OG, probably 3-4 years ago map. Kind of the same thing. You're seeing there's 6 here. So there's 12 different tunnels. And these are also different. Like, he didn't just copy paste these 6 tunnels and put them in the other map. This is 12 different tunnels. So you're getting 12 different build combinations, 12 different like edit combinations, peak combinations. Okay. And then again, you have the builder
I haven't played this map actually.
Yeah, so this is a good thing that you can do, just like you do in Kovacs, where you don't play the same exact scenario every single day for 5 hours a day. You want to have variety. And so if you're getting burnt out on this map, and again, I do the same thing like I told you earlier, I'll play this map, like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Let me go back to the, an OG map. Let me go play this. Okay, this is, more refreshing. I'm feeling it now. And then, okay, I'm bored now of this. Let me go play, something else. Let me go do a different map. And I've looked at other mechanics training maps. Nothing really compares to Raiders maps. They're just, the layout is clean. It's similar. Like, it's consistent. It's there. The next thing that's great in Raiders map, and again, just like we saw in these maps and this V3, playing like this edit wall thing, it looks cool, but it's not like that useful, right? Like, and a great rule of thumb of looking at this, and maybe you don't have experience watching other players do it, but like, I can't tell you the last time I saw any top 100 pro or top 200 or 300 or 500 pro. I guess I don't watch the 455th ranked pro, but like nobody plays the edit like one, right?
Yeah.
Nobody play on either map. You'll always see them just do the tunnels, and they all do the tunnels the same way I just described them. They don't play them like builder place. Like, you have to do builder place in this one, but they don't play it with the intention of doing the map correctly as it's intended. They play it as it's each different combination, each different edit angle, crosshair placement angle. It just gives them more variety. So be cautious of what you're playing here. And then it's same thing here. Like, I mean, this is, if you look at all creative maps, this is just Raider, but like, there's so many maps out there. So if you look up mechanics map, you're going to find 100, 200, 300 different mechanics maps that, like, yes, you can go play, but some of them, be careful. Don't waste your time is what I want to say. And same thing with your Raider. Even though he has these great maps, he also has maps like the Raiders Impossible edit practice map with 45 players. Like these 45 players are wasting their time. There's nothing that is useful to play on that, right? Same thing with this edit practice map V2. Like this is wasting 130 people wasting their time. So it's just the same thing. It's too repetitive. It's too repetitive, and it is a little old. But whether it's old or new, like this map is old, right? This map is almost probably the same year like as these maps.
I feel like the tunnels though can't really get old though because it's crosshair placement.
Which one?
Right? With the V3 and V4. Like the crosshair placement.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Can always be improved.
It can always be improved. Exactly. So that's why those are pretty infinite. Like they're very evergreen for creative maps. That's why they've been so popular for so long. But these just going in a straight line doing the same exact edit is not going to help you improve. It's going to give you maybe a 2% improvement long term, right? Like you're going to find something. If you do anything for an excessive amount of time, you're going to get good at it. Like there's somebody that's really good at this map, but it's not a pro. So be cautious with that. The next thing that Raider has that's really great that I haven't found than anybody else is because the system, again, he's got a really clean layout, is the V4 and the V6 edit course. And probably honestly a couple of his other edit courses. There's this one, the edit course race, which again I treat it not as a race with an opponent. I just go through it and I get 1-2 on the same 1-1-2. I get like 6 different options.
Would you recommend me playing these?
Yeah. So edit course again, just like if you're not really feeling mechanics but you want to do edits, or you don't know what you want to do but you're not feeling this, edits is right here. So the best ones you can play hands down is going to be V6 and V4. And if you somehow are burnt out of these, then you can go to the edit race, or you can go to this one, which is really, really old. I mean, as you can tell. So V4 and V6, I don't think you'll be burnt out of this. There used to be an old Raiders.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, he used to have a 15-minute edit course.
About edit courses
way back in the day, and it was beautiful, but it's not published anymore. So, but this map, as you can see, it's all different. Like you can't possibly, if you do this 100 times in a week, like you'll memorize probably majority of it. But that's why you don't do it like that. But
the crosshair placement is definitely worth to learn, right?
Oh, definitely, it's good. I mean, 100%. I would recommend playing one of these a day. Like this could be, and again, it all comes down to what you're passionate about. Like if I build you a custom routine and you literally just hate editing, then you're just not gonna do. You'll half-ass it, or you just won't do it. And like I know you said you're passionate about everything, but find something that you really truly enjoy. And like it might be that you like doing, you start your day with 16 tunnels, then you come out here, then you do edit course, okay, then you go back and you do peak training, and that's your warm-up, and it takes you an hour, and you set an alarm on your PC, it rings 30 minutes, after 30 minutes you're done doing these. You just you don't have to, you could set it to do, because I've worked with mechanic coaches before, and they've given me routines, and they're like extremely structured, and you can do that, but that's not necessarily needed if you have some type of discipline. If you understand you shouldn't be playing the first scenario for 30 minutes, then you're good to go. Like, so you don't have to do 5 of 1, 5 of 2, 5 of 3. Just, do a couple till you feel like you're good enough, and then move. And then keep going through them. All right, so that can be your warm-up routine for Fortnite, and then for Kovacs, I can share those scenarios with you in Discord.
Okay, perfect.
And then, help with awareness and fighting. This is going to be, simply put, awareness and fighting is your understanding of your mechanics, right? Like understanding your speed, how fast you work, how fast your editing is. Like think about the best scenario I probably can give here is like you are you're super fast at editing, and you probably know somebody that's done this, or you probably have had this happen to you. Someone's super fast editing, they full box the guy and they just miss, they just whiff. It's like that is an example of having an advantage in one area, but having a disadvantage in another area. Their disadvantage is their aim. So if your awareness is bad, it's because your mechanics are not at that level yet. So you're having a disadvantage for your awareness and a slight disadvantage at your mechanical level, right? Like you're definitely good enough to build a box. So you need to simply just train your mechanics. If you're getting faster at editing, faster at aiming, faster at piecing, and you're doing these tunnels constantly day in and day out, your awareness is it's just gonna get there, right? As long as you have the simple things on, which I would imagine you do: visual, audio. You have your headphones aren't backwards. Like there you go. You should be, and you're getting reps in every day against challenging opponents. Like your awareness is gonna come as long as you just keep pushing. And then fighting again. 100%. This also comes from just studying the game, right? Like you watch replays, you watch yourself get caught off guard, being unaware. Oh, let me just not do that. Uh,
It's
yeah, watch it
definitely
back.
something I lack. I just feel like I don't watch my gameplay back too much. Even though like I try to learn every time I die, I definitely need to watch it back.
Yeah, definitely. I would 100% recommend that. It was a long time. Like I don't even know if it was like a myth from way back in the day, but there's a pro on EU named Vadil, and this is like back in like 2020 or something like that. But he was like he said something that every time, or maybe it was a joke, I don't know. But every time he would play a ranked game and he would die, he would record it and then watch it back, or he would go in a stream VOD and he would watch it back while he was in the queue. So then
Like
he'd queue it
clip
again.
it.
Yeah, he would just watch it back while he's in the queue. So he'd queue it. He'd be in the queue, waiting for the next game for 3-4 minutes. Watch the replay back. Just get it. It could be 30 seconds long. Just watch a quick 30-second fight. Your last fight. See what you did better, or what you could have done better. See how you could have changed the fight to your advantage, and then go back. And that can be a clip.
That's
It can be whatever.
that's something that's
Right? It's just a use of your
definitely
time.
useful. Yeah,
Yeah.
I should do that 100%.
But as you were saying earlier, ranked is not the world's best way to improve. You're not constantly challenging yourself. And another thing
Yep.
that I always like to explain with ranked, and if it's good or if it's bad, is it's good for one thing and one thing only. It's good for learning the map, learning the meta, learning how you can walk, kick, and slide off a wall, and barrel roll, and this new building has this chest here. Like, it's good for that. You can't learn that in creative. It's impossible to get that. So you have to play ranked just to understand the map and where you are in your surroundings in the actual game. What tree is, if this tree gives 500 wood and this tree gives 1 wood, then you would obviously need to learn by playing the end game. So that's good.
Yep.
But fighting in game and fighting in creative is vastly different. Number one, you're challenging your opponents are not as challenging. And also the time it takes to fight and the time of your fights is way different, right? So if you're in creative, we could do 5 1v1s in 2 minutes. In game, you might land off spawn and not fight anybody in 2 minutes. And then you might fight one guy, have to heal up, loot up again. Then 8 minutes later, you fight the next guy. And then then you get third party, and then the fight's over. So you did 2 fights in 15 minutes, and you came out with minimal
like a
improvement.
waste of time.
Exactly. So, and then on your awareness, another thing that I love to teach is just keeping your head on a swivel. Simply put, it's just being aware.
I saw
Like,
your video. Yeah, I saw your video. I thought that was really useful.
Keeping your head just constantly moving. You're just switching around, acting like there's someone on every angle. And then another thing that does awareness, I'm sure if you watched in the video, is just blind spots. Understanding your blind spots, knowing what they are, when they come up. And do you understand that? Do you want me to explain that?
I think I do. Well, I do understand it, but like, I feel like whenever I'm in the game, I don't know. I think this is a lot of like players' issues. Whenever you're in the game, you can't really apply it to yourself. Like, you understand it, but you forget to like apply it. That makes sense.
Not really.
Not really. Okay, wait.
Let me try to think.
I'm trying to think of how to word it. So like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe you just have to practice it.
Yeah, it's just about being conscious of it.
You definitely just have to practice it.
It's about being conscious of it. If you run out on the road, you think about just constantly. The way I look at it, and this is probably not a great trait of mine, but I'm always like super anxious, as if there's 100 lasers looking at me. Like, if I walk out here and I'm going to be seen by this guy on this angle, and this guy on this angle, and this guy on this angle, like, I just know they're going to instantly I'm dead instantly, right? So like, I'm always super, super aware. I'm always moving my mouse around, making sure I'm focused on what's in front of me, but also worrying about the little secret spots around me that I can't necessarily see, or I'm not, that someone might be lurking on. And then, blind spots is all about just understanding what you're coming into and knowing that it's blind. And as long as you're preparing yourself, because that's Fortnite in a nutshell, right? If you were to just ask me, like, how do I improve in Fortnite? It's all, or how do I get better at
being ahead?
Yeah, exactly. Thinking 2 steps ahead, preparing yourself, right? So running into this building here, for example, this is obviously the lobby, but like, I don't know what's behind this door. I don't know what's behind that door. And I also don't know if someone's here. And like, I don't have to be, overly stressing about it, like looking at all the angles, but just being aware that this is something that I'm unsure about. And same thing with, I'm running this building. This is obviously a new building. I've never seen this before in Fortnite, but you might not be able to build in any of these walls. So I'm going to make sure that I can build in these walls. So now when I come back into the game and I run into that building again, I know I can build those walls. So it helps me with my confidence. It makes me less nervous. It makes me like, it gives me a better understanding of it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I can execute it properly. And then the focus becomes a little bit like you can actually kind of taper it down a bit more, so you can actually focus on the more important things. If you remember back to your first ever game, you're probably worrying about every possible scenario and every angle, and then as you realize, like, wait, I can just build and put a wall. So then that threat becomes a little bit less scary. Like I just showed you in that lobby. Then I know I can build there. So now I can think about the guys behind me instead of worrying about what's in front of me. And then hills and things like that is probably pretty easy to understand. If you're down here in the valley and you're going up this hill, knowing that you can't see what's at this thing and you really can't see this building is important.
Yeah.
And
blind spots.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I think I explained it wrong. The blind spots I was talking about with building. So like whenever you're in a build fight and you talk about blind spots, I feel like whenever I'm building or fighting someone, sometimes I'm not aware of my blind spots, and like that's obviously where replays comes in to like so I can review it. But
you're not aware of the angles they have on you?
Well, I don't know, at times. Like I don't know how to explain it.
I feel you.
Like,
yeah.
Like hold on, I'm trying to think how to word it. Like I feel like most players have this that are like not at a high level. Like they understand what pros do, but it's kind of challenging for them to like apply it to their game.
Okay, I'll say this: I'm in game, and this is kind of.
I don't know if they understand, because pros definitely just have so much more experience, and I think that's like what it is.
I'll say this:
it separates.
What's important is you understand, like you just said, you understand what pros do, but it's hard to like actually do it, repeat it in game or whatever it is, right? Like it's challenging to redo it. So with that, it's all about the reason why. I hope this answers your question, but the reason why it's a little bit easier for pros to do it, or you see they just execute it more flawlessly, is because they're always keeping their crosshair or their general focus, right? Like my general focus is like from the left of my character right now to maybe the right of my crosshair. Like there's like that kind of square. It's like I'm keeping my general focus somewhere on the player, right? So for example, if someone's above me here and I thwife cone like this to block myself, my general focus is still on the player, right? Versus just constantly just like doing this and ramping up or doing something like this, right? Your focus is away. Your general focus is this way, right? So if you're able to keep your crosshair on the player as much as you possibly can, whether that's doing a thwife cone like this to retake height, right? This gives you that perspective on the player, or just simply taking the fight and having a perspective like a pop shot where you're able to come up and just keep your eyes on this player and pump him and then block your head and keep going, right? Like keeping your crosshair on the player and trying to focus on that is probably what you're missing. I don't know if that answers your question or if that makes sense.
Okay. I definitely worded it wrong. Okay. So I understand. I think I'm applying what you just did. Like I saw a video that Destiny Jesus made.
Yeah.
It was kind of similar to what you just did, but it's like fighting better players. So I was doing tokens and I was getting shit on, right?
Right.
Because these players were just faster. Like they're just faster. They can get to the like your blind spot faster than you can be aware of it. Basically.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Like,
I see.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm pretty bad at explaining it, but
I get it entirely. I get what you're saying. So you're saying, because it's the same with me, right? If I'm going against Peterbot and I'm not even gonna dog on myself and say that I can't take a fight against him.
Yeah, they're just like booted up. Like they're just gonna be quicker.
Right. I can definitely handle my own against everybody, but I completely get it. There is a level of like, okay, I'm here focused on Peterbot, and he just somehow jumps and hits this double header here, and he gets this, and and because he's the desync lag, he's able to slide the cone down and get this, and it's too fast for me, or like something catches me off guard. I think that's common for every player. That's why you'll even see like. Something that comes to mind is like I saw a clip a while ago of Reet getting clipped by Peterbot. And it's like Reet is a great player and he's super smart and he's super fast, but like it just happens to everybody. Peterbot's gotten clipped before by Reet. Like it's just the way it is. And so with that, it's at that level
as a learning moment.
Yeah, at the level of like the pros clipping each other, because again it just happens.
I mean, yeah, I guess
it's all about mechanical speed. Like at your level, and I'm not gonna say you're at the like bronze ranked player level. Like I understand you have an understanding, but like I'm saying like at even at my level, like there's people that are clipping me constantly, and it's just a simple mechanical gap. Like if you're looking at like experience and hours put in, I'm just going to use these numbers as a example, but you probably put in 1 hour to mechanics training, and I've put in 10 hours, and then the guy that clips me's put in 15 hours, and then the guy that Peterbot clips him Peterbot's put in 30 hours, and like it's just a experience level difference. So that's literally all it is. And so if you're like, wow,
Yep.
I constantly, the guy's taking advantage of my blind spots, or however you described it, right? Like he's just quick, and I'm too slow to react. It's just because that guy has 5 more hours in aiming, or 5 more hours in editing, or 5 more hours in the mechanics map than you. That's literally exactly why. Like, that is the answer to why that guy is just able to catch you off guard faster.
100%.
That's the reason why I'm able to come over here and just absolutely kill both these guys, right?
Yeah,
Because
just shit on them.
I have
just
more experience.
more
I have,
experience.
exactly. I have way more time in creative, way more time in like whatever it is.
Yep.
What the?
100%. Yeah. What the hell just happened?
So, and that's why you clip other people too, right? Like that's why you're killing other people, because you have more time spent in mechanics
Yeah.
than them.
I definitely understand that, because like I saw you said you have 25k hours played, which is like almost triple my time, or not triple, double.
Yeah, I have my Fortnite tracker stopped tracking hours. What the? I don't know why I'm playing ranked. I should just be focusing on this. But my Fortnite stopped tracking hours years ago. Like, I've been at 10,000 hours. I wish I could just email Epic and see, but I know I have well over, probably more than 25,000 hours.
I'm dialed in too.
But yeah, no, you're exactly right. There's a reason why I would kill you, because I have that much more experience.
Because you're just you're just better. Like,
That's
played
the
more.
same reason
You
why
played
Peterbot
against
kills
better
me.
people. Yeah, he just plays against better people more. The new shotgun reload time is gonna be so bad.
It's interesting. Are you talking about the
Dude,
Oni?
I don't really. No, I'm talking about the pump. Like, I feel like it's like the Havoc almost. It's super slow.
Yeah, it is a little slow. I agree. It just takes time to adjust. I mean, like everything, right? It give you a week, and
100%.
you're gonna know. Same thing with like the Pearl. Like, I don't know why that happened, but there's a reason. Like, I've seen it happen to me before, and I just have to figure out. Oh, it's because I pulled it too early, or it's because I don't know why. Like, there's a reason. We just have to learn it. It's just the meta is just takes like a day or two to really get a good understanding of what is going on, how the guns work, and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that explained like your awareness in fighting, or like the blind spots in fighting of how you get caught off guard. It's just a level experience level difference. So
okay, I want to ask a question about the routine. So after I would like play those maps,
yeah,
what would you recommend me doing? Because obviously, understand what you're saying. Ranked and stuff is definitely not the best way to improve.
Yep.
I've definitely right now, I would want to just 1v1 people that are better than me, so I just get shit on repeatedly until I just become better.
Yep.
So how would I do that? How do I find in Discord and stuff like vitals? You can look for people, but I mean, dude, I don't know. It's like,
I got you.
Unless they're like pretty good stats, it's kind of hard to find some good players.
I got you. Yeah. So things I do and things I've done is a couple things. One is build up your friends list with people who are like at that level. So I don't even think about it. I could invite most of these guys.
Trying that,
like
yeah.
90% of these people, and I would get a challenging fight. Like, so that's a great thing. And that's something I did years ago, like 5 years ago. I just had people on that, like, they weren't pros. They just had a name and they were good enough, and they would challenge me.
And yeah, 100%.
And so build that like level up, build that friends list up, and you'll be able to have people like that can come back and challenge you more.
I've been doing that recently.
And you can
find my friends list.
You can find that in a Discord server. You can find that on Twitter. You can find that on you could find that in creative. Like, oh, this guy's actually pretty good. Like, yeah, yo, can I add you? Like, let's keep going against each other. Like, we're challenging each other. It's like a 5-5 right now. The score is 5-5. It's pretty balanced. We should keep going. So that's good.
Okay, yeah.
Or a great way, and like probably the easier and maybe faster way, I guess, and the way that pros do, is token sites. So you've got what is it called?
Revox.
Yeah, Revox. There you go. Oh wait, I spelled that wrong. Revox, I think this site just came back, if I'm not mistaken, or
I
just
think
like it just came back
it's
live.
been out for like a couple months.
Yeah,
I've played it. I've been playing it recently.
yeah, definitely. Revox right there, boom, and then you're getting a player like this 1v1 Zone Wars in a East. Go against the guy, and
Should I be grinding these? Like, cause I feel
Yeah,
like
100%.
I have so much playtime, bro, and it's just I don't want to be lazy and like I don't know. Whenever I don't do a lot with my day to like improve, I feel like it was just wasted. And I definitely want to challenge myself more, but
This
you know,
this
obviously
is a very
the
challenging
more
way
you
to
grind,
challenge yourself.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, this is like the best thing you could possibly do. If I was to want to focus on improving as fast as I could, as quick as I could, I would play as much of these
Play
as possible.
tokens.
And yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't say you have to play Revox. There's levels to it, right? So like, if you are,
Yeah,
if you've
100%.
never tokened before, here's Revox. It's a site you can go to. It's a standard, like, here it is. But again, there's levels to it. Once you play a good amount, you'll start to get your name out there. People will be like, yo, and you'll start to bridge connections, and then eventually you've got like the REIT wagers where they're doing like $500 and they're doing $100 and they're doing like 2v2s, 4v4s, 3v3s, and like you'll get to that point where you're able to get yourself in the environment against really challenging pros as you come up. Like everyone had to start somewhere, and not saying this is the exact site, but they kind of started on like these type of sites where you can just put up $1, people sweat.
I feel like, yeah, I have an account for this already, so it'd definitely be easy to grind. But
Yep, and I don't know if there's any other better site than Revox. I personally haven't found anything that's
I like Revox. They're pretty good.
it's pretty straightforward and easy. So yeah,
Yeah.
Revox is a great place to go for just improving improving your fighting and getting better.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. What else you got?
Thank you. Maybe, I don't know. Do you think if you watch my gameplay, you'd be able to tell me like issues I have?
Definitely boot up a 1v1 and let's try it. The only issue with this is replays, or not replays. Creative sometimes can be buggy. Like you might just it might just not load you in for some reason, or it might whatever. And also you just might not get a challenging opponent. Like I'll try my best. Like we'll see if we can get. Sometimes we do get a challenging opponent. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. What if I just get shit on? That'd be pretty bad.
No, that's good. The only time I've had like not a struggle, but like had a scenario where what's it called? I was doing this with somebody because this is a great way to help improve mechanics and like improve fighting.
All right, I'm a pre-build.
Is just don't have an ego with this. Like the guy might be pretty good. Like I don't know how this guy is, but
yeah, 100%. Just play how I would.
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Alright. There's one.
There you go. I would say the one thing I'm just seeing off of this right here is just try to be more cautious of your crosshair. It's like definitely moving a lot.
Okay.
Like,
so try to keep it straight?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be as flicky and as like there's no, like, you're fast enough, if that makes sense. Like there's no, I
don't know, bro. I feel like sometimes
like,
whenever you're just
moving your crosshair.
Yeah, whenever I'm just in this state, bro, I don't know why. I feel like I'm fucking Peterbot, and I'm just not.
And it goes with your speed. No, listen, you're fast enough. Like you're moving your crosshair fast enough, and it's causing you to make like stupid edits. Like even that first round, like you instantly went up, instantly double edited down. Like that's not the best possible play for you to be. Like think about these fights as taking 0 damage. Like you just jumped in on that guy because whatever, and then you did damage, and then you instantly edited a window. Like it's not like that's not your best. There you go. There you go.
Taking 0 damage. Gotta have that.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
I definitely don't apply that. I just fucking.
That's the issue with creative.
Right
is
yeah, definitely.
You don't have to apply
like
it.
You would in game.
You don't have to apply it, right? You can just keep going and have fun, and that's like.
Oh my gosh, that's definitely my issue, bro. I just fucking like am a knob, like you said, bro. You just
right, like the edit you're making there doesn't have to be like you don't have to do that edit up every time the same start. Like it's not. Also, this it's not a bad thing to like hit edit courses and go for clips and do these things that you're doing, but thinking
Just
more
don't wanna do it.
realistic in game. Like you're not ever doing that in a game ever.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
you're
even
right.
useful to do. Like there's no
Yeah,
point.
no, you're right. So I want to practice like side jumps and stuff. Basically, is what you're saying?
Yeah, practice. Yeah, side jumps, LIFO cones, diagonal jumps, like things that you're actually going to be able to execute when you have 5 builds instead of infinite builds.
Alright, dude. Bro. Alright. So, I definitely... should I just back out?
No, he's telling you to pick up the AR.
Alright. What starts should I try to do? To like, I don't know. Is there any like starts that would like...
There's no reason to have a fast start, like if that makes sense. You just do it 90 and keep it simple. Like there's no like 1v1 $5 million tournament that you need to master a fast start. This is like a useless thing to master. It's like asking and try like what retake combination should I do? Like what are you saying? There's no fucking what do you need when do you need to pull out a retake combination that has like a side jump, diagonal, thwifo cone edit? Like there's really not a point in that. Like this combination you're doing all this like there's like
There's
I could
no
teach
point.
you this. I could teach you to do a build combination, but
What
there's
the?
really no point in like actually mastering it to the level of what you're
It's
talking
just
about.
like, yeah, I feel like it's just, bro. I can't believe I'm just admit this to you because like you're a coach, obviously, and I want to improve, but it's definitely just like brain rot, like actual just watching other pros play, and just thinking that you're better than you are.
I think what you'll do is when
100%
you're,
what
when
it
you're
is.
actually putting money on the line and there's a little bit more like not stress but like focus necessarily, you'll realize like doing what you're doing is not going to work. Like this is not going to go
No,
good
I
against
definitely have realized that.
But
Because
this is all good and dandy, and again, it's brain rot when you're going against this guy because this guy's doing like he's not good, right? You're just having a good time, doing whatever you want to do, and right, you can do what you're doing against this guy. But again, yeah, token players, pros, like you're just gonna get punished, and then you have to play slower, and then there you go.
Okay, so just work on my crosshair placement. I feel like my edit speed definitely could be faster,
Well, the problem is not your
or
edit
just more
speed.
consistent.
Your crosshair placement
Is it-
is like not could be improved.
Is
a
it
ton,
is
right?
it really bad?
It's not great, but like that's what you should like. Your editing is good, but you're playing edit courses not to get edit speed because it's not a hard thing to master. Like getting faster editing, especially it looks like you're on edit on release. But
Yeah.
like so, the edit speed is not a hard thing, but it's all about crossovers. So when you're playing your edit courses, you're trying to be controlled, nice and slow, but still have that same speed, and it's gonna be not great to start with, but you're gonna level it up over time.
Okay, yeah. So, dude, yeah, I actually completely understand that, and I haven't been doing that at all. So basically, what I said with the brain rush shit,
Yep.
I just been playing like pros, but you know what you said with crosshair placement, I'm just not hyper focused on it. So like, I need to. I don't know. I feel like in free building, you can. Would you recommend the tunnels, or would free building also be helpful, like for a warm up and then going into the tunnels?
Yeah, free building's good. I would always recommend free building. It's like that's not a bad thing. That feels like that's a no-brainer. Like you just need to just get your hands warm for a warm up, right? Like
Yeah, 100%.
definitely. But try to edit fast and just be more controlled with it. Like actually focus on really slow, methodical movements. Right now, try to do it right now.
Like this? I don't really understand like that, or like this.
Yeah, like that.
So just start off slow.
Yeah, try editing slow, but your speed is fast. Like you're moving through your edits fast. If that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. I guess speed in the sense of
like
like you're
this?
not. Speed is in the sense that you're not getting stuck on an edit. Like you're not getting stuck on a wall. Like right now you're moving in a fluent speed, but your editing is smooth. Like your crosshair is smooth. You're not flicking to your edits. Everything is nice and controlled. Your mouse is really controlled.
Okay, okay. I see what you mean. Like this?
I mean, you're just doing the opposite. I feel like you're trolling at this point.
I don't understand, bro.
Bro.
I need to watch you do it, bro.
Just slow down. Slow down. It's
okay.
Listen,
okay, bro.
The whole goal here, the whole goal here is to be smooth and not stop. Like you don't want to get stuck on a wall, because if you get stuck on a wall or you get stuck on your cone, but controlled cross placement. Like this is not controlled. You're flicking your mouse around like very slow. Like imagine like you're in slow motion. Nice and slow. Right? Controlled crosshair placement. Right? Double it up, double it down. It's nice and controlled. It's not flicky.
Dude, oh my gosh. No, because it's a habit, bro. I think that's why you think I'm trolling you, because I've been doing it for so long.
Just
like, actually.
Just go slow. Just slow.
Bro,
slowly edit down.
this is really bad. You don't understand. It's like hard for me to do it slow, because like I can't do it.
I mean, that's it. That's edit courses right there. That's how you actually properly utilize that an edit course. Crosshair placement. Being controlled with it.
Is this better? Am I doing what you said?
It's better.
Yeah. Do you want me to go slower?
No, it's fine. I mean, like you want to be as controlled as you can, but as being as fast as you can. That's going to be the peak mechanics, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And essentially, what you're practicing is you're practicing controlling your speed, being able to like not get stuck on an edit, right? That's very important. But you're also you're setting yourself up for good crosshair placement for your next possible shot, your next piece, your next angle. And that's full like peak mechanics, right? When you're able to just box somebody up, have perfect cross placement, one pump, done.
Is it?
There you go.
Okay. I'm sorry, bro. I'm like just confused with because okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, getting better crosshair placement. Obviously, with what you said, I'm gonna want to practice probably just being slower and creative. So I'm gonna want to be playing the game more 100%.
Yep.
Because right now, like my hours aren't above the 10K mark. Do you think that matters at all?
No.
No? Okay, 100%. So it's just, what do you think then? Is it just fighting experience, like the Revox stuff, and then just getting better over time?
I would say edit courses and being able to have good cross replacement will help you, and then also just challenging yourself. I think the most important thing is you'll be forced, like if you're going against a good opponent, you're going to be forced to have good cross replacement. You're going to be forced to have, or you're just going to get punished. Like it's just not going to turn good for you every time. So challenging yourself, if you can play Revox every day, that's probably your best bet. And then do your typical mechanical and aim practice that you've been doing. That's it.
Thank you, dude.
Got you, brother.
So, dude, oh my gosh. I can't believe that. It's just simple stuff, but I don't know. I feel kind of stupid because what you said definitely helped out a lot.
It's all about a different perspective. That's why when you VOD review, you do it with your duo, you do it with different teammates, you do it with friends, and you can watch your games back. That's why when you watch other,
yeah, I agree with that actually.
Get different perspective. That's what I'm here for.
Yep. Thank you, dude. So, okay, with my routine, I really do want to improve at this game, obviously, and like become, I don't know, the best like version that I can be.
Yep.
So obviously I'm gonna grind and stuff.
Yep.
I don't want to like waste. I don't know. You said wasting time. I feel like that's something I'm definitely bad at. Because, like you said,
it's not hard to be. It's not hard to be good at it though. Like it's not hard to be. It's you can be bad at it because you're just not focused on it. But as long as you're not doing the wrong things, like you're just being conscious of like, okay, is this guy challenging you? Okay, I'm backing out. Like, is this guy really the most difficult player I'll fight? No. And so again, Revox and things like that. That's if you're playing somebody on Revox and you're tokening somebody, it's already a challenge. Like, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So Bro, I love doing like the fast movements though, but I know what you're saying with the controlled crosshair. Oh, he just shit on me.
I mean, it
backing
just
out.
sets you up for that angle right there. If that makes sense. Like, you did all that quick movement just to edit instantly because you
I
can't
should have reset it.
you
I should have
can't-
reset it.
yeah, but you're moving too fast. You can't process it, if that makes sense. And you should be able to move quick, but think about like your crosshair placement. If you were to move fast, but you're controlled with your crosshair, you would actually be able to have a more controlled shot on the player, if that makes sense. Like if you have more
Yeah.
control on your mouse and you have more control with your crosshair and your crosshair placement, it's gonna line you up for an easier shot.
Okay. Yeah,
Cool.
I understand that. Thank
Bet.
you.
I got you, brother. Alrighty,
Thank you, boss.
you got it.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Alrighty.
Yeah, thank
That's
you,
it?
man.
Cool.
Should be it.
Alrighty, I'll talk to you later.
See you, boss. Thank you.
All right. I feel bad that I left the call 2 seconds before, but that's it. That's a wrap. I'm glad I was able to help him. He really just needs to, like I just said, focus on his crosshair placement and being more controlled. I feel like a lot of you guys have a similar issue. It's not about speed. It's not about moving extremely fast. It's not about having the fastest edits and the fastest flick shot and blah, 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 blah. Just be controlled. It's be consistent, be consistent, be consistent. Control, control, control. Move at the same speed every single time and you'll be good to go. So cool. Glad I was able to help you guys and glad I was able to help him. Appreciate you guys and I'll see y'all later. Peace. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget I host a Tuesday Thesis every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. CST. So get your gameplay watched, get your questions answered, and I'll see you there.